good positions where we can have light grip pressure, start feeling the club head a little bit, and start making good strokes. So the posture and setup are key to doing this. So quick story, one of the tour players that I work with came to me, and not to put down any other methods out there, but straight back, straight through is what a lot of guys are trying to do out there. This guy, particular guy, worked for another camp, I won't say the name, and he's starting to play golf now, and he came back, and his putting strokes would take about 37 putts around. And I said, well, you know, he's hitting 14, 15 greens around shooting par, so that's a big problem, right? So he's not going to make much money out there shooting par on the mini tours. So he's taking the club, and he's swinging it kind of outside in. He didn't know it, obviously. So I look at it, we film it, and I said, well, club's swinging outside and across the ball. So you need to feel like you're swinging a little bit more from the inside. He's like, well, that doesn't make sense. I said, well, trust me, get him set up, boom, get him in there, and he feels like he's swinging the club way back to the inside. He said, well, what are you having it straight back, straight through? And I said, I don't have anything against it. I think it's a great concept. You can't do it. Simple as that. That's what we find is people that try to swing the club in a straight line, right, with a club that's bent, has a little plane built in, that you're going to tend to swing it outside in. It's just what we see. Most people cut across the golf ball, either too much, aim to the right or whatever, but that's what happens. So once we get you in good putting posture, elbows, ribs, relax, and the grip's there, as long as I stay connected here, if I rock the shoulders back, we're going to get a slight arc to the putting stroke. Okay? The putter stays square to the arc. Okay? A lot of people think it opens and closes, and it really doesn't. It just stays square to the arc. All right? We're going to use some putting arcs to get you guys feeling that if you have a little bit of an outside-in stroke. So, straight back, straight through is great. If you can do it, I'd say just have at it. Haven't seen too many people that can actually do it. A lot of the tour players think they do it. They'll swear up and down that they're swinging straight back, straight through. You put them on video, or you put them on something that has some statistical data, and they're actually swinging it on a slight arc. So, like I said, it's a great concept, but we feel like a little bit of a plane is better. Posture and setup, like I said, we'll go through this simple routine. Take 5 minutes, get you right in there. So easy. And then it comes to solid contact, right? As we start to do some speed drills, we start to get some distance control. Arguably, the most important thing in putting is what? Controlling your distance, right? If you can't control your distance, then the line doesn't really matter that much. I went to a seminar, a PGA seminar, and Michael Breed, and you guys have probably seen him on the Golf Fix. Pretty interesting guy. But he did a study on the amount of shaft lean and how that affects the distance the putts go, right? Dave Stockton, very popular teacher out there, right? What's he teaching? Teaching a forward press. This is not, something that new, okay? But I can guarantee you, if you're coming through and your left wrist is breaking down, the club swinging up, you're not going to hit it very solid, and you're definitely not going to have any distance control. So we like to see about 2 to 3 degrees of forward shaft lean as you strike the golf ball. Okay, your putters are going to have 3 to probably 4 or 5 degrees of loft, depending on what style of putter you have. So we definitely don't want to be adding loft to the putter. If we can take a little bit of loft away, the ball's going to skid and roll a little bit truer. It was amazing. He went from studies from, I think, -4 to like +5, and it was like 12 feet. It was stupid. I mean, it's just like that. That's how big of an effect your distance control can be just by changing your impact alignments. All right, so we're going to talk a lot about just keeping those hands and wrists nice and firm. All right, Rory putted pretty well in the open, right? What was he doing? Had a little forward press. He worked with Stockton, and all he was doing was maintaining that through the hit. Worked out pretty good for him. Okay, so solid contact is huge. Green reading, we're going to talk about. Been doing some studying on a new concept out there. I'm not going to mention since I'm actually filming this. I'm not fully certified, but you're going to really enjoy it. I'm going to get some information I think that's going to help you start to see things a little bit differently on the greens when a lot of times it's very confusing. Who gets confused on the green sometimes? Everybody. Yeah, you're looking at it going, can't you tell it's going right or left? So we're going to try to clear up some things, give you some really solid information that's going to help you effectively read your greens a little bit better, especially inside 20 feet. I'm very excited to share that with you. And as we go along, we'll talk about pre-putt routine. All right, I've got a little segment in there called What's Your Putting Personality? All right, Mac Shannon calls it linear, non-linear, which I think is, there's a lot of truth to that. We learn differently. We have different personalities. Some of us have a little more structure. It might be a little more linear. Some with a little more creative side. So basically boils down to some people can read or aim at spots. Some people can't. Some people have to see things in curves and breaks. So that's going to affect how you set up to the golf ball and how you get your aims. And we'll talk about that as we go forward. So that's pretty interesting stuff. And I got some keys in there to kind of tell you a little bit about how you would be and what camp you follow to. We're going to do video, which I think is a different thing than, like I said, 2 or 3 day schools. We just don't have time to do it. Okay, we have plenty of time today. We're going to get you in before. Bring the guys in here, go through your setups, go through your stroke mechanics, have you write some notes, and say, okay, here's what we got to really work on. We go work on it, and then at the end, we're going to bring you back in and do it again, and then send you an email talking about the changes that we made. So it's submitted in there when you go practice, and you have some good keys, almost like your visual notebook. All right, sound good?
Yes, yeah.
Anything you want to add there, Nancy?
No, I'm excited.
Ready to go? Okay, so what we're going to do right away is we're going to go out. Leave your notebooks here because we're actually going to come right back in and do your video. So leave your notebooks here. We're going to go out and just have you hit some short putts, just kind of loosen up, rolling the ball, and then we're going to come back in and do your before video. All right, so let's get started.